Hello students, I thought that I must share this with you. That's the reason why I'm making this video. Tomorrow, the day, that's 5th of June, actually it's already 5th of June by now. So the day, that's 5th of June, this time is going to be a special one. As it is, this day is marked as the World Environment Day, but as I would like to say, it's like a cosmic triplet when it comes to 5th June of 2020, because tomorrow, apart from the World Environment Day, we shall also be having two special occasions that have got to do with heavenly bodies. One of them is a pen-umbral lunar eclipse and strawberry moon, and the other one is a zero shadow day here in Kolkata. So let us discuss them one by one. First of all, it's a World Environment Day, 5th of June. You have been studying this in your GK books. Just like any other day, this is another day marked in honor of the environment. We had April 22 known as the World Earth Day. So what do I have to say about World Environment Day? Well, I would like to share something with you. It is not exactly what you study in the textbooks about EVS and all. Something that is rather practical, that I think that you all can actually do in your life in order to make a difference to the environment we are living. We know that how we are grappling with pollution and such issues in this day, in this modern world. So what can we do in order to make the environment a better place to live at our individual level? First of all, I would urge you all that start from your home. When you are in your home, whoever is cooking the food in your home, ask them to use pressure cooker as much as possible, because it consumes less amount of LPG than any other utensils or mode of cooking does. If you can go electric, use the induction cookers, but otherwise try to use LPGs, pressure cookers, as much as you can. Next, coming to the aspect of brushing our teeth or taking a bath, I would suggest all of you that while brushing the teeth, do not keep the tap open as long as you are brushing. Open the tap only when you need to. If you keep the tap open continuously, studies show it can lead to wastage of around 6 liters of water per minute. Also, when you're taking a bath, it's better to take your bath from a bucket filled with water than standing under a shower. You can do that to save a lot of water, because I suppose you know that water scarcity is a really global issue. It's starting to show in India. Groundwater levels in various cities, in various suburban areas and villages are going below the critical level. We in Kolkata might not feel it because we have the river Ganga nearby to replenish the water sources, but many other areas are facing the heat. So it's better that we start now. Better be late than never. As for waste disposal, I urge all of you that when you dispose of waste, first of all I would say, try to use plastic as less as possible. That is my first message to all of you. When you go to shops, either to buy groceries or anything that you wish to, try to carry bags from your home. Don't go to the shop and ask for plastic bags. The less you use plastic, the better it is for the environment, because plastics take an average of 10,000 to 1 lakh years to completely decompose in the soil. So you can understand how hazardous it is for the environment. Just like there is a research which says that just like we read our history textbooks about Bronze Age, Stone Age, Copper Age, if later someone studies about the age we are living today, it would be called the plastic age. And that's because of this, the way we use plastic. It's polluting the environment, the oceans. Millions of animals are affected every year. Stop using plastics. People around you who use them, ask them not to use. When you go to the shops, carry your own bags. Use plastics only when it is unavoidable. Coming to my fourth point, I would like to say that when you're in your home, try to save electricity as much as possible. Do not just keep the appliances on because electricity is available and you have the required economical condition to pay the bills. No, don't do that. In order to produce electricity, tons of coal need to be burned, and they are dumping those greenhouse gases into our atmosphere, which is causing these problems of global warming. So again, I say use electricity only as much as possible. Don't waste it. Don't just keep the appliances and switches on just because you want to and you don't have any problem paying the bills. So these are certain things that I thought I would like to share with you. And obviously, if possible, if you have that required uh, land in your property, plant trees. We know nowadays all of us, or almost most of us, live in very small areas or maybe even flats and apartments where there is not enough soil or property in order to form a garden. But if you have plant trees, ultimately trees are why we are here. Now that's all about the World Environment Day. What are the other two topics I'm going to discuss? Well, the first one that you can see here, it is about the strawberry moon and the penumbral lunar eclipse. So first of all, what is this strawberry moon? Quite often you will hear this kind of terms associated with moon. Sometimes it's called the blue moon, sometimes it's called the pink moon. Now it's the strawberry moon. So what about it? Will the moon look like strawberry, or will it be reddish in color like the strawberry is? Well, none of that. Actually, if you study about the history of the moons and how they are named, you will come to know that these full moons, they are named according to the different geographical regions, mainly by the farmers and the agricultural people, because the full moons mark the start of different crop seasons and which crop is going to become fertile, which crop is ready to be harvested at which time. According to the European folklore, it is this full moon in the month of June which marks the time when strawberries begin to ripen. As a result, this full moon, they call it the strawberry full moon. That's the reason for the naming. And tomorrow we will also have a penumbral lunar eclipse. If you remember in your junior classes you have studied that when the light from the sun on its way to the moon is blocked by the earth, you get these two regions. One of the regions, that is the umbra, and this outer region is the penumbra. So if the moon happens to lie in the umbra region, what we get is a total lunar eclipse, where the moon is almost entirely shrouded by Earth's shadow. But tomorrow what we are going to get is a penumbral lunar eclipse. In a penumbral lunar eclipse, the moon lies in this diffused region where there is little bit of shadow, little bit of light. So the moon won't completely be obscured by the earth, but at least there will be a haze, a kind of a blackish obstruction of the moon. You won't be able to see the full moon in its full glory. So when will this eclipse happen? It will happen tomorrow between 11:15 p.m. to 2:35 a.m. on 6th June. That is 11:15 p.m. on 5th June to 2:35 a.m. on 6th June, and the moon will be obscured maximum at about 57% near this time of 12:55 a.m. But we all know that right now in Kolkata the clouds are the skies are very cloudy, and it might not be possible, unfortunately, to view this. But if it is not possible, don't be disheartened, because we are going to get two more penumbral lunar eclipse, once on the 5th of July and again on the 30th of November. And the third fact for which I am most excited, which I myself am going to explore today, is the zero shadow day. Yeah, tomorrow is going to be a zero shadow day for us folks here in Kolkata. So what does the zero shadow day mean? Well, we know that whenever the sun is out there, no matter at what time of the day we venture out, there is going to be a shadow of us. It may be short in length, it may be tall in length, but shadow is always there. There are different proverbs which say that even shadows it is only the shadows who are your truest companions who never leave you. But tomorrow on zero shadow day at 11:36 a.m. here in Kolkata, there won't be any shadow. If you are standing vertically on the ground, or if you place a stick or rod vertically in the ground, somewhere around 11:30 to 11:40 a.m. during that time period, no shadow will be observed, and that's because the sun is vertically above our head tomorrow at that time. Again, this is something which will be fulfilled or observed only if the sky is not covered with clouds. But I hope for the best. I hope that it's not covered. But even if it is covered, don't be disheartened. Maybe in a few years again, you will get to notice this. But what is so special about the zero shadow day? Well, it's the history associated with it. I don't know if you know this story, but there was a Greek philosopher by the name of Eratosthenes, who for the first time in something around 240 BC before Christ measured the circumference of Earth to extreme accuracy using this principle of zero shadow day. So Eratosthenes hailed from an area known as Alexandria, which is the present day Egypt, and he sent one of his followers or assistants to the place Syene. So Eratosthenes knew this from previous experience, that on the day of summer solstice, that is on 21st June exactly at noon, if you place an object, a rod or a stick, vertically at Syene, no shadow is cast. So he knew this. So what he did, he wanted to examine that whether it's true only for Syene or whether it holds true for Alexandria as well. So he sent one of his assistants to Syene, and exactly at 12 noon he planted a stick down into the ground at Alexandria, and he found that there is a shadow cast on 21st June. So he realized that, well, this is not happening throughout the earth, but the sun's rays are parallel, the sun is infinitely far away from us, so that means Earth's surface is not flat, it is curved, there is a curvature. The earth is spherical, and because of that reason the shadow is absent in Syene but present in Alexandria. He measured the angle, the triangle that is formed by the shadow and the stick. What is that angle? It's 7.2 degrees. He measured it, and he knew well that if you project these lines, the lines of the two shadows, down to the center of the earth, this angle is 7.2 degree as well. That's because of they are vertically opposite to each other, or sorry, they are interior alternate to each other, as you studied in geometry. So he realized that if the entire earth is like a circle consisting of 360 degrees and Syene and Alexandria are angularly separated by 7 degrees, so we get one relation, the angular separation. What about their actual distance separation? Well, he again used some of his assistants and found the distance between Syene and Alexandria is 800 kilometers approximately. So he used this concept that if 7.2 degrees project a distance of 800 kilometers on the circle of the earth, how much distance will the 360 degrees project? So he used this relation here, 7.2 degree by 360 degree is equal to 800 kilometers by x, where x is the circumference of earth, and he found it out to be 40,000 kilometers. Then he used the formula that 2 pi r is circumference, from which you came to know that the radius of earth is 6369 kilometers. And you see here the value 6378, that is the actual value as we now know with the advanced technologies. So just by the use of a simple natural phenomena and mathematics, this is how a man 240 years before Christ, or almost 2200 years before today, measured the circumference of earth. And that is the reason why the zero shadow day is so exciting to me. I ask all of you to venture out, go out. If there is no cloud, check whether the shadow is actually falling. If not, remember, this is how the first seeds of discovery and calculation for the circumference of earth was set.